All right. Let's talk about LabWork 4. So here we go. Number 1. All right, number 1 says x to the negative 7th, y to the 11th over x to the negative 2, y to the negative 2. So first thing we want to do is move everything. So here we go. So we want to ask ourselves, is x to the negative 7th happy being on top? And the answer is no. Did that come down? Does y to the 11th like being on top? And the answer is yes. So we'll leave them on top. Then does x to the negative 2 like being on the bottom? And the answer is no. So we're going to bring it to the top. And then does y to the negative 2 like being on the bottom? And the answer is no. So now we're going to bring that up to the top. Okay. So basically it looks like everybody's up top, all right? And only one on the bottom. So this is going to equal to, so if I look at it, I'm going to see that with the x's, 2x's on top, 7x's on the bottom, 2 cancel out. I have x to the 5th left on the bottom. The y's are both on top, so I would have to add the power, so that's going to be the 13. So therefore, that is my answer. Hey. Okay. Let's delete that, because I meant to do this. There we go. And the answer is A. There we go. All right, so that's A. Awesome. So number 2. Okay. Number 2 says 4x to the 6th, y to the 5th, all raised to the 3rd power, and x to the 8th, y squared, all raised to the negative 4 power. All right. So now I'm even going to do it this way. I'm going to make the 3 here. Let's make it red. And we're going to make the negative 4 here, blue. So that means I have the 4, the x to the 6th, and the y to the 5th, all raised to the 3rd power. And then I have the x to the 8th, and the y squared raised to the negative 4 power. Okay? So that means I'm going to have 4 to the 3rd, x to the 18th, y to the 15th, x to the negative 32nd, y to the negative 8th. So now what I need to do is now move them, because there's positive and negative powers. So I ask 4 likes being on top, the x to the 18th likes being on top, and the y to the 15th likes being on top. Awesome. The x to the negative 32nd doesn't like being on top, and the y to the negative 8th doesn't like being on top. So there we go. Excellent. Now we can simplify. Okay. 4 to the 3rd is actually 64. And then I got 18 x's on top, 32 x's on the bottom. So I'm going to have 18 of them cancel out. So I'm going to have 14 x's left. There's 15 y's on top, 8 y's on the bottom. There will be 8 of them canceling out. So I have 7 y's left on top. And that would be my answer, which is D. go. All right. All right. So on to number 3. Okay, number 3 has 4 to the negative 1, x to the negative 3, y to the negative 4, over z to the negative 2, all raised to the negative 4 power. Okay, so what I have is, let me do this. I got the 4 to the negative 1. I got the x to the negative 3. I got the y to the negative 4. I have z to the negative 2. And all of these are being raised to the negative 4 power. Okay. So what do I have here? I got 4 to the positive 4, x to the positive 12, y to the positive 16, all over z to the positive 8. Look at that. So all of them became positive powers. So I don't even have to move them. Even better, right? So the only difference is that I have to simplify the 4 to the 4th. So that's going to equal to 256 x squared y to the 16th all over x to the 8th. And that is going to be choice number D. There we go. All right, so there's number 3. So on to number 4. All right, number 4. It gives me a p of x, and that's equal to negative 5x squared plus 6x, and wants you to find p of negative 2. Okay, so p of negative 2 would equal to, let me do this here. Okay, so p of negative 2 would be anywhere there's an x. I'm going to replace it with a negative 2. All right, so therefore, p of negative 2 would be negative 5 times 4, because order operation says I got to do exponents first. So negative 2 squared would be negative 2 times negative 2, which would be positive 4. Plus 6 times negative 2. So that means I have negative 20 minus a 12. So that means this tells me that p of negative 2 is equal to negative 32, which is choice B. Awesome. There we go, number 4. Number 5. Okay, so number 5. What does that say? That says a really long thing. That says negative 3 x to the 3rd plus 2x to the 5th plus 8 plus 3x to the 4th, all of this minus negative 6 minus 7 x to the 4th plus 9 x to the 5th minus 6x to the 3rd. All right. So what this negative sign right here is saying is that to basically switch all the signs in this parentheses following it. So why do that? I'm going to go ahead and stack it underneath what I already have in the first parentheses, and since there's no signs in front of the first parentheses, that's just a 1. So the first parentheses I'm going to rewrite as is. In fact, I'm going to go this way with it. So I'm just going to copy and just paste that. So there is my first. All right. And my second one, I'm going to have to flip all the signs. So it's going to be a plus 6. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. I'll do one better. I'll do this. And then so this way you can see what I do. This is going to be plus 6 plus 7x to the 4th minus 9x to the 5th and plus 6x to the 3rd. So that's where I end up. So now I'll put each of those terms separately underneath their like terms. So the plus 6 will go right here. The plus 7 to the 4th, x to the 4th, minus 9x to the 5th, and plus 6x to the 3rd. So if you notice that I line them up with the same terms. I don't know why, that just gave me 2 lines. All right, there we go. Now we can add them. So I'm going to have a 3x to the 3rd minus 7x to the 5th plus 14 plus 10x to the 4th. And as I said to you guys before, we need to write this in power order from greatest to least, right? So this is going to be a negative 7x to the 5th plus 10x to the 4th plus 3x to the 3rd and plus 14. Right? And that is going to be choice C. There we go. Perfect timing. So to number 6. All right. What does 6 say? 6 says 5x to the 3rd times 6x plus 11. So this is where I need to distribute. And when am I distributing? I'm distributing this part right here. So if you guys are more successful this way, do it this way. So I might ask you to do 5x to the 3rd and then say times 6x, and then do 5x to the 3rd times 11. Okay, what does that give me? That gives me a 30x to the 4th plus 55x to the 3rd. And that's going to give me the answer for D. And there we go. All right, number 7. Number 7 says 3x minus 9y times negative 2x minus 7y. Okay, so this one I need to either FOIL or double distribute, or the multiplication table, right? Or the multiplication table. Okay, however you guys want to do it. So the way I showed it with double distributing is that I made the first one here, red, so that I can show that it is 3x times the negative 2x minus 7y, and then the negative 9y times the negative 2x minus 7y. All right, so now we go. So I'm going to get here a negative 6x squared minus 21xy plus 18xy plus the 63y squared. So if you notice, there is like terms right there and right there. Awesome. So what is that going to give me? That's going to give me a negative 6x squared plus, oh, actually, no, not plus, but minus 3xy plus 63y squared. So what choice is that? That is choice B. Excellent. Let me do this really quick. All right. That'll work. All right, there we go. On to number 8. All right, so number 8 says 7x minus 3 squared. All right, so this one right here, this one right here, this one right here, you need to write it out twice. And you need to FOIL or double distribute or multiplication table. So if I was to multiply this, I'm going to get, here, I'll do it this way again, make that a red. So I have this 7x times the 7x minus 3, and then the minus 3 times the 7x minus 3. So what I'm going to get is a 49x squared minus 21x minus 21x plus the 9. So that's going to give me a 49x squared minus 42x plus 9. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be choice C. There we go. Yes. All right, number 9. All right, number 9. Number 9. Ooh. So I have an x plus 1 times a x plus 1 times a 5x plus 2. So essentially I'm multiplying 3 numbers. So what I would first do is multiply that number first. And then I'll multiply the second. So yes, I will have to FOIL, double distribute, or multiplication table. When I multiply those two, I should get an x squared plus x plus 1 times a 5x plus 2. So I got like terms in there, so I'm going to have x squared plus 2x plus 1 times the 5x plus 2. Now, because the trinomial comes first and then the binomial comes second, I can certainly switch the 2. Because 3 times 2 and 2 times 3 would be the same. So I could just go, okay, I'm going to do the 5x plus 2 first, and then write the x squared plus 2x plus 1. That is certainly fine. So that means I'm going to have a 5x times the x squared plus 2x plus 1, and then plus the 2 times the x squared plus 2x plus 1. So that means I'm going to get a 5x to the third plus 10x squared plus 5x. Now I'm going to have a plus 2x squared plus 4x plus 2. All right. So I do have some like terms. I got a like term right there. And I also have a like term right there. All right. So what do I get? I get the 5x to the third. And the x squared is going to give me a plus 12x squared. The x is going to be a plus 9x and a plus 2. And then there is no more like terms, so that is going to be choice D. Looks good. All right. We're on to number 10. Well, I need to go to the next page. Okay. All right, so then number 10. So it says that f of x is equal to x squared minus 9x plus 6, and wants me to find f of a plus h. All right. So all this is saying is wherever there's an x, I'm going to replace it with x plus h. So this is going to equal to squared minus 9 times that something plus 6. So I'm going to replace those somethings with a plus h. Okay. This one here, I have to FOIL or double distribute. And this one right here, I'll have to distribute. Okay. In fact, let's do it. Change the style to blue. There we go. Okay. So that's what I have to do. All right. So let's FOIL. So I'm going to have a squared plus ah plus plus h squared. And then I'm going to have a minus 9a minus 9h, and then the plus 6. Question is, do I have any like terms? I do, right here. After that, I really have no more like terms. All right? So the way I would write this is kind of confusing, but not confusing. And according to the answer, yeah, they kind of did not the greatest job of it. So so the answer is going to be a squared plus 2ah plus h squared minus 9a minus 9h plus 6. Well, that is going to be choice B. And voila. And voila. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Hopefully that answers all your questions. If you have any questions, let me know. See you later. Bye.